On Sports Central, the coaches back-to-back for In Vogue. Top people in 2 stories.
On 882 6PR.
And we're going to the Fremantle Dockers territory. Ross Lyon joins us. G'day, Roscoe.
Good, Brad. How are you? Good, Carl.
G'day, mate.
Oh, you're happy to get away with the 4 points, I would have thought.
Extremely relieved in the end.
But you got the job done, and that's the important part. You lost a couple of players. Well, Stephen Hill, he was out of action early, and you were able to guts out the win.
Yeah, we did guts it out, and I think mentally to dig in. Look, at half-time we're in a big hole, really. 17 points down and really lethargic and the opposition up and about. And to come out, third quarter was pleasing. 19 entries to 7 and 9 shots on goal and a bit more aggressive in getting after them. And, showed a bit of character, and then it was a bit of a fight. So out of it, we take a bit out of it. And look, at the end of the day, if you looked at our first 6 and thought it would be 4-2, we probably would have taken that with some opportunities to improve.
Any positive individually that you thought that stood out?
Yeah, I thought a couple. I thought Michael Johnson was really good again, and I thought Ibbotson dug in, and Clancy Pearce continues to fight on for the group. And I thought McFarlane was, our key defenders were pretty good, I thought. And yeah, I thought as a debut, I thought Lachie Neale, 14 possessions, second half 11 and 2 goals, gave us that nip around the front half and for the ball that we've been looking for. So I think he'll build on that and, pretty keen to bank some games into him. And I thought Spurs' desperation and competitiveness in the second half helped lift the group. So, yeah, there's a little bit to like, but obviously massive improvement required.
Ross, look, you've been able to curb the scoring influence of the opposition sides, which you've been very, very good at wherever you've coached. But as in then turning it into the positive inside attacking 50 and being able to score, is that a real work in progress now? Is that going to be a big focus from now on?
Yeah, well, it's been, look, even on the weekend we had 55 entries and it was 24 shots. Teams are kicking pretty straight. Mate, look, they kicked 9 goals from stoppages on the weekend, so even against the Blues, I think it was 24 shots to 15. We're looking for more shots. We've been too passive. We're allowing the opposition to possess the ball too much, to be frank, and we've spoken about it, and we want to be more aggressive in our defence. So when we have lots of shots on goal, or, in quarters, like we did against the Blues 2-7, and, if you're having 9 shots in a quarter, you're going quite well. So when we have those quarters, we're really pressing the opposition and turning the ball over centre forward, then going quick. So that's the aim, but, we've been a bit passive sitting back and allowing them to chip it around. So we want to get after them a bit more, and that will fix our scoring, no doubt.
You looked like you were trying to push a man back, but that man seemed to be Ballantyne, and he seemed to be 3-on-1. Was that by intention?
Push one back into there.
Well, I just thought leaving. Well, I've always thought that maybe leaving one player, whether it be Pavlich, Ballantyne, or whoever, and trying to get a 1-on-1 when you get that fast break. Because for a lot of the games I've watched Fremantle play, and a lot of other teams for that matter, there's generally no one to kick to.
Yeah, I think that's when you're counter-attacking. I mean, all teams sort of, when they get it centre forwards, tend to roll back and support the defence, and then you're trying to do it on the counter. So that's probably what I'm talking about with the stoppages, getting it forward, then locking it in, so and pressing it. And when they're trying to come out, you turn it over and you go back through free players and key forwards and so on. So it's a little bit on the weekend, the stoppages in the second quarter. But look, we've had big quarters, and I mean, you do. Geelong fold back and then counter-attack. So, I mean, there is counter, but we actually want to win the clearances and press it a bit and lock it in. So that's what we're working on. And I thought we did that really early in the season. Like, we've had big halves with dominated entries against Brisbane, and Sydney was 42-17 second half. So that's really aggressive. But for whatever reason, we sort of sat off the opposition a little bit more over the last couple of weeks, and they've been able to control and make it a slow tempo game. So as I said, we want to get after them and press it a little bit more. So that might mean a little bit more man on man until we get it right.
Looking to this week, where Sandilands at, Hill came off with what appeared to be a cork or something of some description. How are they shaping?
Yeah, Hilly, they said today, was a lot better than they expected. So we're really expectant that he'll play. Aaron completed the session. He was in my office today. He's expecting to play. So that's good news for us. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape. A couple of boys have fought viruses over the last couple of weeks, so they should be better for it. We should sort of maintain what we had on the weekend and look to add definitely Aaron, and then there was, some good performances in the waffle, in particular, like young Hayden Crozier was fantastic for us as a really youngest player taken in the draft. He had 7 shots on goal, so there's a couple around the edges that we'll look at as well.
Are you happy to play Griffen Sandlin and Clarke in the same team?
Look, I'm really looking to do it, and I thought, we'll do match committee over the airways. That was okay. I thought Griffin last week was pretty good, and on the weekend I thought he started well, and he had some key moments, and he still would like to get more games into him to grow. And I really think as a combination, when you look at what Ottens and West did last year, we need to do it. And then I was just looking at the forecast. I think we'll come into it. It's going to be a wet week, and then, they're talking about wet on Sunday, so it's probably not an ideal combination in the wet. Although you're saying that the grand final was wet, wasn't it? So last year. So I think really Griffin and Sandilands can put some real pressure on opposition. We just got to make sure that we're able to balance up the run component. So it'll be exciting for us, I reckon. Give us that bigger target you're talking about, either Griffin or Sandilands at times.
If you can attract Travis Cloke to the club, maybe we can call the new stadium the Cloak Room.
Oh, dear me. Actually, that's not bad for you, Brad.
Thanks, Ross. So, how did that affect your week last week? I mean, was that a distraction when that all came out? I mean, of course you're going to be in the market for anybody that you think you can entice to the club.
Yeah, look, I stay really focused on my job, and clearly I need to at the minute. Put plenty of time into it, improving the team. And look, there's always a lot of, I think it's great that they can talk about us being in the market for marquee players. That the fact that clubs and the industry think we have the capacity and the wherewithal to get it done. So that's a compliment in a sense. But we're, specifically, is it Cloak or is it Goddard or Stanton or whoever it is? We're clearly in the marketplace in position to do something and have a go. In relation to me and the team, I think if I was a playing group, I'd be excited potentially that we could attract some key talent to the club. But for me, I just go about the job at hand and let the cobblers do the cobbling.
I just got to ask you one on a lighter note. At the start of the season, when I had a chat to you, you said that you weren't going to talk about travel. It only took 6 weeks.
Yeah.
You did say to me at that time when you answered the question, you said good teams win anywhere.
Well, they did, and we did.
Yeah. So what happened?
3, and I think we were 8 points.
You couldn't get that direct flight. You had to get on the bus.
No,
you had to.
I wasn't complaining about the flight. It was just the
bus ride,
bus trip.
Yeah.
I think if you can avoid an hour and a half, on a bus from an airport, I think it's reasonable to put it on. And look, the AFL, they do a good job, and Virgin are fantastic sponsors of the competition. So I just thought we might have been able to fly direct into the Gold Coast. But, you're just trying to chip away at little things. And look, it's probably none of my business, really. But for me, I'm not complaining. I get the extra time to, lay in the hotel and do some work and sit on the plane. So, look, there was no excuse. It was just a bit of an annoyance, really. So, we got the points and we flew home.
Ross, a lot of brouhaha about the high tackle count for the West Coast for the high tackles. Will you instruct Matthew Pavlich on game day to go to the umpires and say, now listen, there's 2 teams out here today, and what's the ducking? Or how do you
they don't duck though, Roscoe. They don't duck.
Apply the chicken wing tackle like the Storm and get to work on it. Look, I haven't watched much West Coast footage. The technique's a good technique, so you just got to get low in the tackle and drive, and look at that. I like the technique, Selwood and those guys that have perfected. So it's a bit about if you can't beat them, join them. So I think the rest of the competition catch on quick and then get low on the tackle. No arm tackle, full-bodied, and they won't be able to slip off you. So I haven't got caught up in it too much, clearly, because I haven't watched much West Coast at all, to be honest, because they haven't come across my radar. But I am noticing what the other coaches are saying, and West Coast, and fair enough, are standing their ground. So I'll leave it to the authorities and try and learn a bit on, how to sort of draw some kicks with that technique and emphasise how you need to tackle against it.
Good stuff, Ross. Always appreciate your time. Look forward to talking to you next Monday after the power.
Cheers, Brad. Look forward to it.
Ross Lyon there.